Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. How are you today? Happy Friday. Put in the comments below where you're watching it from, as I want to know who is here and who is watching it and where you're watching it from. Today, we're going to talk about how TEDx works, as this is always the first question what I get when I meet new people or when you guys talk to me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. It's just always the same question, how TEDx works. And that's exactly what we are going to speak about today. So let's just dive deep. But before I go into the answer of how TEDx works, what I want to show you today is three different things. I'm going to show you how a business professor and a third-time TEDx speaker came to me for her fourth TED Talk, and I put 7 hacks into her TED video, and that's what I want to show you today. And these 7 hacks turned her 4 TED Talks into a huge success, and in the first 3 weeks completely outperformed every other 3 TED Talks what she had before that. What I also want to show you is what makes a TEDx and TED Talk successful. So this is all about today. And the last thing what I want to show you is what are the biggest mistakes people do on their TEDx journey, because I want you to not do those TEDx mistakes because they're very common. I see them all the time, and I want to call them out so you can absolutely don't do the same mistakes as well on your TEDx journey. So let's just dive deep straight away. I'm going to check the comments right in a second. What I want you to actually think, and I want you to comment below, is this. I've got 2 questions for you. The first one is, why do you want to do a TED Talk? So put the answer in the comments as of why you want to do a TED Talk, because this is an important question, is always the start. And the second question I want you to answer on the comments below is, what is your topic? I know you can type just one word like education or property or any of those, or you can explain what exactly your topic is. So please put them in the comment below, and I'm going to come read them. So when I give examples today for a very successful TEDx journey, I can directly give the examples specifically for your topic and for your why you want to do a TED Talk. So the typical TEDx journey always looks like this. People start their TEDx as of applying for TEDx. Then they start writing their script. They practice at home, and they deliver the TED Talk on the day. And that is kind of their finish line. The moment when they finish delivering their TED Talk, they're like, okay, I'm done. Job done. I became a TEDx speaker. Well, actually, this is not your TEDx finish line. So let me just show you this. I'm gonna stop for a second. I want to show you this. This is how the standard TEDx journey looks like. However, a very successful TEDx journey doesn't finish on the day when you deliver your TED Talk. Because when you deliver your TED Talk, you became a TEDx speaker. That is given for sure. You create that amazing legacy. You create that amazing digital business card, which is TEDx. However, the finish line is the moment when you diffuse your TED Talk around the world to everyone who is interested in your topic. That's why I'm asking you, put your topic in the comments. Because the moment when you gain that visibility, that also is going to bring as well as the positioning and the credibility. So if your why, what I ask you to put in the comments, is to position yourself as an expert in your field. If your why is to have a lot of credibility of what you do, for the projects, for the business, what you do, for everything what you do, the credibility and the positioning, they all starts when you gain visibility. And this is kind of like the key performance indicator, what kind of visibility your TED Talk has. So a very successful TEDx journey is not going to finish when you deliver your TED Talk. It's going to finish when your TED Talk is so spread around the world and you have thousands of views, as these views is the indicator that your TED Talk is a starting point as a success, that your TED Talk is now successful, right? So put a yes or no in the comments if that makes sense. And I'm gonna absolutely continue. So what I created out of design, deliver, and diffuse. Design, you can't see that it says design behind the talk. So sorry, my slide is kind of shrinked in much less what I see right now. So what I create is the soon to be a TEDx speaker formula, and I want today to walk you through the 4 steps of this formula, which is going to literally give you the whole journey, the 4 steps, what you can follow to be able to become not just a TEDx speaker, but a very successful TEDx speaker. And this is the topic today. So the first step is a step which I call mobilize. You need to mobilize yourself. And I call it the red carpet frame activator, because you're going to activate your red carpet and you're going to start walking on that red carpet. What is included in this step is very, very simple. But before I give you what exactly is included, let me tell you what is the biggest mistake what people do here. The people start applying for TEDx. They start writing their script as beginning of their TEDx journey, where actually this is a complete mistake, and I'll tell you why. Let me ask you this question. When you start a new project or a new business, do you start with the action, or you start with decisions first? Decisions on what is your goal, what is the outcome, what you want out of what you're about to do. And this goes for new businesses, for new projects, for TEDx as well. TEDx is not different. So don't treat TEDx as something very different from any kind of projects what you do in your life, okay? Your starting point, and this is where people really do the big mistake, they start diving deep into the action, where actually this is the module 1. You need to take a decision. What is your topic? That's why I ask you this put them in the comments if you're joining right now. You need to take decision. What is your TEDx goal? What kind of outcome you want to have from TEDx? You need to take a decision. Who is your audience? Let me tell you this. By taking a decision specifically, name those we call them avatars. Name the type of the people who are going to be in front of you. Who are those words of you, your wisdom for? Because once you decide who is your audience, after this, when you start writing your script, you're going to use the language in your script according the audience, of course. But first, you have to decide who is the audience. So decision on the goal, decision on the audience. There must be a decision on the timing, how long your TED Talk is going to be. Maximum is 18 minutes, but I would never, ever advise you to take the full length of the TEDx. But you have to take a decision how long it is. Then decide what stories you're going to put in your TEDx. And also, the last one, decide what is your title. These decisions are all part of the module 1 of the soon to be a TEDx speaker formula. And these decisions is so crucial for you to use them during your TEDx journey. So before you even start your TEDx journey, these are the decisions what you take. They're important for your application process. Part of this, of course, module is to start applying for TEDx. So another decision is which TED organizers you want to contact and start digging into the contact details. So application process is part of here. Decisions on after this, like deciding which stories are going to be and the audience. This is impacting after this, the next step, which is about the script, the delivery, and the diffuse. So don't start with the action, start with the decisions first. It's very simple decisions, but you have to really start with them, right? Now, the module 2 of the soon to be a TEDx speaker formula and a very successful journey is the step to make your script. I call it the supreme TEDx explosion formula, because this is the formula which is going to really help to to have a script which is going to explode after this in people's brain, as this is your wisdom. Okay, before I explain what exactly is in this module, let me tell you the biggest mistake what people do. People start watching loads of TED Talks for inspiration. If you do that, okay, nothing wrong, but let me tell you what's going to happen. If you do that, you're going to lose your own wisdom, what is here and you wanted to share with all the people around. Or you're going to talk yourself out of what you wanted to do in the first place because someone else has been talking on that topic already. So you're going to deserve yourself if you start actually watching loads of TED Talks for inspiration. That's not going to be inspirational for you. Okay, so let me tell you what is included in the second step, which is the step to make, and this is the Supreme TEDx Explosion formula. You need to decide here how you open up your talk. So what you start on your script, what kind of stories you want to put in your script. Again, they need to be related to your goal. They need to be related to your audience. You have to use that language of what your audience use. That's why it was so important, step one. And then, of course, how to finish with a bang. You know, you've seen so many TED Talks. They all finish with, remember this today. Well, guess what? Majority of the people start after this talking for like 2 minutes. It's so important to narrow it down. And the crucial thing, which I'm going to dive deep in each of those modules in a second, is something which I call key phrase. How to put your wisdom in a short sentence and what exactly people are going to remember out of it. So this is part of from module 2. And in a second, I'm going to dive deep. So step number 3 for you. So yes, module 2 is make, and you create your TEDx script out of module 2, make. The step 3 is mastering, and I call it the stress-free talk delivering solution. Talk is abbreviation, TALNK, are 4 steps underneath this module for module 3, master. So when you master, here's what people do as mistakes, okay? So people prepare their talk, but they don't prepare for the TEDx date, which is so important. And this is always the biggest mistake what people do. People are so concentrating on practicing the script that they forget to prepare their day. Let me tell you what happens if you do that mistake. On your TEDx day, if you didn't prepare for that day, your day is going to be super stressful. It's not only that you're going to be on stage and you have to think like you're creating a legacy right now, okay? But you have to think about so many things on the day. But in addition, this is a networking day. In addition, there will be so many things happening around you and with you that you're going to be completely overwhelmed if you did not prepare for the day properly. Now, there is a comment. I'm going to come back to your comments just in a second. What's going to also happen is that people take few pictures when they're not prepared for the day. They take few pictures, and what happens after this, that they don't have enough for their social media. Come on, people. You became a TEDx speaker and you don't have enough pictures of the day. This is just ridiculous. And always, every time when I speak with people and I'm like, how did you prepare for the day? And they're like, I did my, I'm ready. I can totally deliver my script. I was like, great, but this is something different, okay? The third thing, what's going to happen if you don't prepare for your day is that people go to TEDx as they would go for a really nice dinner and realize they should have actually dressed up for a really posh party. Think about that, how you go to a posh party. I'm not talking about black tie party, okay? This is very different. When you go to a posh party, you do your hair, you do really good makeup, you have very good, jewelries. You have, if you're a woman, if you're a man, you don't have jewelries, most probably, but most probably you do have like really good watch, you put the best tie or, the best accessories, what you have, the best shoes, you polish them and all that. So you really prepare for a posh dinner, and people forget to prepare for the TEDx day. This is just absolutely unbelievable. So let me tell you what is in the module 3 master. When you come here, you have 2 sections. You need to practice your script, but also there are 16 questions. I'm going to dive deep in a second in that module, but there's 16 questions you need to ask your organizers to be able to prepare for your day. So let me just check the comments. There is a LinkedIn user saying, great, Biljana, warm regards from Germany. Hi, Hachim. Every time my StreamYard doesn't show me that it's you, but it's so great to see you, Hachim. And Asha is saying hello from Italy. That is amazing. Hello, Italy. How are you doing there? Absolutely loving it. Well, hello from Sunny right now. Bulgaria, as I'm in Bulgaria here. Okay, so let's go back in modules, 3 modules so far. I have 1 more to cover, and then I'm gonna dive deep. Module 4 and step 4 is Magnify. This is the mighty growth magnifier step where you literally need to make your TED Talk explode to as many people as possible. Let me tell you what is the biggest mistakes what people do. They're not having efficient, diffuse strategy to spread their talk around the world. As a result, I'm going to give you statistics which are from 2021. The statistic is that 75% of the TED speakers get 120 to 380 views on YouTube. This is just for YouTube. I'm not talking about any other platform, but just YouTube. And about a week after the TED Talk has been published, everything dies down. Okay, put a yes in the comment if you've seen, if you went to the YouTube TED Talk channel and you've seen so many TED videos and very low amount of views, and you wonder what went wrong, like what these people did that the views are so small. Okay, put a yes or no in the comment if you've seen those talks and you wonder what exactly went wrong for those. So let me tell you what is in this module. There are 3 types of strategies. There is a social media strategy, how you diffuse your talk on social media so you drive what we call traffic towards your video so many people can come and watch. Like, you have to tell the world that you did a TED Talk so people can come and watch it. And it's so crucial in the first 24 hours and the first 48 hours. I'm going to dive deep into that module in a second. The second type of strategy is social selling strategy. When you become a TEDx speaker and you meet new people, how you meet them? Let me tell you this, the moment when you say, I'm a TEDx speaker, and you've got another TEDx speaker in front of you, this is like meeting an old friend. You start speaking with these people like you've been knowing them for ages, right? This is how it works. This is how small TED world is, because there are about 65,000 speakers only so far in the world who has been on stage. So this is 0.001% of the population. The moment when you become a TEDx speaker, you're going to be part of this very small group and very special group of people. And when you see other TEDx speakers, you definitely start speaking with them as you've spoke with them for ages. So the second strategy is a social selling strategy, because you're going to start actually telling everyone that you're a TEDx speaker, but there is a way, very specific way, to catch that attention towards you. And the third type of strategy, I call it the social series strategies, because my background is digital. I love automations. I love putting something once and just sit back, relax, and say, you know what, I don't have anything else to do, because people keep going and watching my TED Talk like 2 years later, 3 years later. And this is the social series strategies, meaning automation. Okay, so what, I don't see any more comments. So if you have any kind of questions, put them in the comments, because what I want to do is to dive deep into each of those steps. My slides looks perfectly fine when there are slides, but here, obviously StreamYard, it's showing them quite different. So let me dive deep into module 2, which is module 2, make. I want you to ask yourself this question. What is that one thing you want people to remember from you and your TED Talk? So put it in the comment below. Think about this. You're going to be on TEDx stage. Put in the comments, what is that one thing? Like, a shortest possible sentence, okay, what you want people to remember from your TED Talk and remember from you. So let me tell you a little bit of statistics as I'm going to wait for you to answer. I did a research on LinkedIn, and I asked people what they remember out of TED Talks, and the options were the name of the speaker, the title, the topic, the way how they make me feel, and anything else, right? And what was happening was that it turns out that only 5% remember the names of the people. Only 17% of the people remember the titles, the names of the titles. And the rest of the people, huge amount of the people, remember the topic basically of the talk and how you make them feel, right? But let me tell you this. Think about that. 2 years later, you cannot go on Google and say, Google, can you tell me what was this man who was really making me like going wow in my mind, and it was about education? Well, Google will be like, I don't know, basically, right? Because you don't have exact way to search. So the way how basically you're gonna make the people to remember you is through that one sentence, which I call a key phrase. So a key phrase is part of module 2, and it's the crucial step in module 2. There are 4 steps here. The crucial step when you create your script, when you write your script, is to create that key phrase. I'm going to come back on the comments and see if you put a key phrase, how you want people to remember you. But key phrase is as short as possible, epiphany of your wisdom. So put a yes or a no if that makes sense. What I can give you as example is this. Khurram Sadiq is one of the people I work with. In his 3rd TED Talk, he said, it's not about knowing autism, it's about understanding autism. This was his key phrase. Alina Timofeyeva key phrase was, failure is an opportunity to grow. Short, snappy, really good one. Jessie Gomez key phrase was, your job does not define your worth. That was also her title, but she was repeating her key phrase. Thank you so much, Achim. You said yes. Jessie Gomez's title was, your job does not define your worth, but she was also turning it into a key phrase as well. And she was repeating the key phrase throughout the talk. And Maria's Gimores, her talk is going to be out, by the way, next week or the week after. Very, very soon. Her key phrase is, suffering is the struggle that makes us mentally strong. The reason why we need the key phrase is because that's how people are going to remember you after this. So Achim is saying mindful leadership is your topic, which is absolutely amazing. I love that one. And yes, Achim, think about a very short, snappy sentence, which is the absolute highlight of your wisdom, how you want people to remember you, because that is what happens when you use a key phrase. And he's like, I'm going to go even deeper into that step of module make. In the Supreme TEDx Explosion formula, what we put is that you use the key phrase several times throughout your talk, because this is the neuroscience law of repetition. The more you repeat the same sentence, the more people who are listening are going to remember that sentence. The first time when you say it, we'll be like, oh my God, I didn't think about this. Wow. The second time we'll be like, yes, this is absolutely right. So they're going to have like, yes, I totally relate to that and I agree on that. The third time when they hear the same key phrase, we'll be like, I heard that already. Now I'm going to remember it. The 4th, the 5th, and the 6th time when you repeat the same key phrase is like, yeah, I remember that. I'm going to remember this. I totally now remember your key phrase. This is exactly how people after this are going to come on Google 2 years later. They're going to type your key phrase. Guess what? Google is going to show them the result, which is your TED Talk. This is how we merge neuroscience with public speaking skills with AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, because we combine those 3 in a key phrase. And that's how Google shows the result of what people remember from you delivering on stage the same key phrase over and over. So put the yes or no in the comment if you understand. And yes, Ajam is saying, yes, we do. That's great. Okay, so let's dive deep into module 3 master. I'm gonna show you quickly directly the YouTube channel. So let's just stop this one and I'm gonna come here. Okay, so this is the YouTube channel, guys. I just opened it. So let me just, I'm gonna pause here and I want you to see the screen without reading the titles. I want you to see the screen and answer this question. Would you describe the colors of all these screens as rather dark or vibrant? So put in the comments below, dark if you think that they're dark, or they're vibrant if you think that they're a lot more vibrant. Okay, I'm gonna come back, see the comments coming in. Let's see. Okay, I don't see the comments. So there's always a delay. Okay, so let me tell you, as I'm waiting for the comments, let me tell you this. When you see the most common mistake what people do when they prepare for their day is to not prepare for the day, as I said. So not preparing is, look at this, like I barely see the person who is speaking on because the person and the clothes are completely blending with everything what is behind. This is brilliant. I can see the person, beautiful hair, you know, and I can totally see the full body and performing. Look at this one. It's great. Absolutely great. There is a huge visibility between what the lady is wearing with the background color. If I come here, well, I only see a very short, a very small amount of the shirt of the man, and I'm not picking up on people here, but I just want you to understand the biggest mistake what people do. I can see a very small amount of the shirt of the man, and the rest is completely blending. So what happens, as well as pretty much here, it's here is the same, like beautiful man, amazing outfit, but it's blending, like his jacket is blending with the background color. So what I want you to actually remember from today, I'm going to stop it for a second, is this. I want you to think about questions what you ask your TEDx organizers. I have a template of 16 questions of them. Okay, the question number 4 is, what is the background of the color of the stage? The moment when you know this color, you're going to choose your own colors to be standing out, not just with your words of what you're saying, what is your wisdom, but also you need to stand out visually. If I'm wearing right now something white, I'm going to completely blend with the white wall behind me, right? So put the yes or no in the comment if that makes sense. But what I really want you to remember is that every time when you prepare for TEDx, you have to stand out with your words and visually. Okay, so in the module master, I call it knockout. So don't knock it up, but knock it out. Prepare for the day. Prepare every single element for the day. And I gave you just one question out of 16. Okay, so what is I'm going to dive deep in module 4, Magnify, and I'm going to show you 7 hacks, one of the 7 hacks for YouTube videos. So I did give you a promise that I'm going to show you the absolutely amazing business professor who I work with for her 4th TED Talk. So before that, let me tell you this. One of the hacks for YouTube, I'm not talking about TEDx only, I'm talking about YouTube in general. If you create videos for YouTube, what you need to do is to always use 3 hashtags in your video, okay? This also goes for TEDx, it goes for every single video on YouTube. 3 hashtags, which are super keywords, okay? This is how YouTube drives people towards your video to come and watch your video, okay? If you always think like, how on earth people have so many thousands of views, you know, on their TED Talks, this is how they have 3 hashtags on their video. And I'll tell you this, only 1% of the TEDx videos have hashtags on them. So let me show you the one and only Dory Clark. So here's what happened with her TED Talk. So 7 years ago, she had a TED Talk. All of them are absolutely amazing, and she had 74,000 views. Sorry. 6 years ago, she had 13,000 views on her talk. Then 4 years ago, she had 90,000 views. And then a month ago, this was her 4th TED Talk. We worked together, and I put these 7 hacks for her YouTube video. I put 3 hashtags. Sorry, I'm not gonna play it. But the 3 hashtags always comes right between the video and the title, okay? The 3 hashtags I used for her was failure, motivation, and success, because it's very specific for her talk. But these 3 hashtags, look at this. In the first 3 weeks, her TED Talk outperformed every other previous 3 TED Talks. This is how powerful it is to use the features of YouTube and all the features what you can have for your TED Talk. So it's so important to have hashtags in every single YouTube videos as well as on your TED Talk. Now, that was my promise. I just explained how that went, and I gave you the demo. But the 7 hacks for the TEDx YouTube videos is part of the social media strategies, and I was giving you that there's social media strategy, social selling strategy, and the social series strategies, as each of them is important. Now, what makes a TEDx talk successful? Back to, in general, what exactly makes one talk successful? As I gave you so far the 4 steps what you need to follow as a TEDx speaker. Now, design, deliver, and diffuse is in general as overview what you need to do. When you start designing the talk, you have to go through mobilizing yourself with all the decisions what I went through. Then you have to basically make your script and make it super memorable with that key phrase we were discussing. Then it's time to start delivering your TED Talk. Practice, practice, practice. Master your script and also prepare for the day. Those 2 underneath step master. And then diffuse, which is the 4th module, Magnify. As you need to diffuse your TED Talk in the first 24 hours, in the first 48 hours, the moment when you put those hashtags I was giving you as 1 out of 7 hacks, YouTube is going to take your talk and be like, let me just spread it to the whole world because all these people are interested in those. Hashtag number 1, hashtag number 2, and hashtag number 3. There is a 5th module as well. I'm working on it, monetizing. Let me tell you this. You will not be paid to get on TEDx stage. However, the moment when you have your TED Talk, what do you do with this TED Talk? How you get the full advantage of it? Can you monetize? Obviously, you can if I did it as a module. But how you can monetize everything what you did on stage, and after this, how that can serve your business. Let me tell you how I can help you with your TEDx journey, as I created 2 levels of help. The first one is a crash course level, and the second one is one-to-one with me. So here is how the crash course works. We have 4 weeks together, 8 sessions in total, 2 sessions per week, and I only create a very small group of people. I don't like when, for any kind of speaking course, actually, I never liked it when we have like way too many people and there is not enough time for feedback. I really value the time of everyone, and I value the time for me to give feedback for every single TED Talk, for the script, for the delivery, for performance. So let me tell you how that works. In session 1, we go through everything which is from module 1, and we take all these decisions in 1 hour. That's it. Not complete. Don't make it complicated. TEDx journey is not complicated, but you have to be really consistent and following the exact order of the soon to be a TEDx speaker formula. Then in session 2, is the module Make. So I'm going to teach you how to write your script, all the steps to write the script, how you choose the stories, which is going to serve your audience. They're going to serve your Go, TEDx Go, and it's going to serve your timing as well. So everything now comes together. In session 3, I'm going to teach you how to perform on stage, body language, body gestures, how when you go on stage, you're in full power and you're a lot more relaxed than the people who are like freaking out around you. Okay, so this is session 3. Then session 4, 5, 6, and 7 from the crash course is all about you delivering, mastering your script, and me giving you feedback. These are the sessions also to prepare you, these 16 questions for your TEDx organizer. I'm asking those questions on behalf of you for your organizer, so I can give you the preparation. And I give example with the clothes, but there are another 15 super important questions you need to ask, okay? And then session 8 is all about how to magnify your TED Talk once your TED Talk is completed. So session 8 can be right before your TED day or right after your TEDx has been delivered and before it was published on YouTube. Now, if you decide to do one-to-one because you don't want to do group calls and you really prefer to use the full time with me, then this would be 7+1 sessions. They're exactly the same sessions as what I just explained, a session 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 7. The last session 1, definitely here with the one-to-one, happens before you deliver the TED Talk and after you deliver the TED Talk and before your TED Talk has been published on YouTube. The reason why is because that's where we really concentrate on super strategies specifically for your business, super strategies for diffusing your talk really massively so you can get to 100,000 views in the first month, as of examples what I gave you today. So they're all on Zoom. The one-to-one is always in a time what you decide, morning or lunchtime or evening, anytime. And what is also the difference between the crash course and the one-to-one is that with the one-to-one, I take over most of your homework. So what your title will be like, I'm going to go dive deep and say like, okay, you have 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 options for titles. Choose any of them because I know that all the titles are going to work. Then I'm the one with the one-to-one to write down your posts. Posts are so important. The day when your TED Talk is published on YouTube, this is when we need to blast it. So I'm gonna, as part of the one-to-one tailored for you service, I write anything between 10 to 25 posts which are going to be for your social media. All you need to do is just copy and paste them. I dive deep into the hashtags for every single post because I know what works, what doesn't work. And they're very different on LinkedIn, they're different on Instagram, they're different on Facebook, they're different on YouTube, they're different on YouTube Shorts, and they're different on TikTok, and they're different on Twitter. So we cover all the social medias and all the different type of strategies. So let me know if you have any questions. Now is open. It has been 38 minutes. It's slightly longer than the usual. If you have any questions, put them in the comment below. Thank you so much for joining today. It has been an absolute pleasure to show you how a very successful TEDx talk works. I'm sending you a lot of love wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Stay safe, and I'm going to see you next Friday. See you next Friday.